We have planes. We have all sorts of things. And I think it's going to be great, Trump told reporters at the White House about the parade. We are going to celebrate our country for a change.
Did you see his the declaration to all the soldiers? No fatsos, no libs. It's like no. So if you were going to be behind him behind the podium, you had to be like a jacked guy. It literally was like no fat soldiers. That was like the text chain from like command to like
all of the fat soldiers have just been deployed to Los Angeles to quell civil unrest.
Yeah, dude, people were calling for when I was like, yeah, imagine one of those guys getting deployed 45 minutes from his house and his wife fucking fuck somebody else.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna bring up like we need a dedicated Jody Corps.
Yeah, we need
service military wives like who live in San Diego while their husbands are deployed to Los Angeles,
just like
3 hours away.
Texting like I'm at the Jamba Juice. It's getting really bad. I love you, darling, and she's just getting railed out by the Soul Cycle instructor. But I like the it was like it was like a text from the people who were like volunteering to be on camera behind Trump. It was like, you can't be overweight, and if you have any if you disagree with the administration anyway, don't bother showing up. Which I mean, I guess would make sense like for optics or whatever, but I can't imagine if you're like a really patriotic fat ass at Fort Bragg, like getting that text where you're like, first you must love the president, and you're like, oh I'm in, and then it's like
check,
yeah, and then you're like, second, hold on, don't get too cocky, you cannot be fat as shit. And you're like, oh, just doing the monkey bars, listening to Linkin Park alone, just like, no.
Think about all those fat soldiers joining ED Twitter.
Yeah, like those old pro Anna Tumblr accounts or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, just like all these like 16-year-old girls, and like just horribly evil 25-year-old women, like goading them into starving themselves, and then these guys with these bios who are like Mulan Lay.
Some guy shamefully posting a picture of a big plate of corn every hour.
Yeah, they're posting pictures of like handsome generals and Tom Cruise, and they're like, "This is better than anything tastes. This is my motivation."
Did you see the video of Tim Kennedy where he's like, I'm standing, I don't know, guys, I'm standing right where the president's going to be standing. We're going to have howitzers. We're going to have A-10 Warthogs. We're going to have Abrams. We're going to have A4, M4 carbines. We're going to have the Green Berets. Like, like that, he has to maintain that energy because at night he just thinks about all the people that he lied about killing. And he doesn't even have real PTSD. And he was selling this idea like he was right there. And I don't know if you guys have seen the Tim Kennedy drama, but like, like all the
wait, I'm not familiar with this.
So every 2 years, all the operator podcasts, so like the Delta Force guys, the Green Berets guys who like didn't come back to sell people or heroin and kill themselves and their wives.
Well, I mean, podcasting's an easier way to make a buck than human trafficking and working for cartels.
Right, exactly. And they'll pick a dude that's like in their circle that maybe got too big for his britches with the stories, and they'll just start calling him out. And Tim, the sights were set on Tim like a year ago, where they were like, but also Felix, you know what I'm talking about. These guys, the way they do these call outs, I'm not kidding, is like, I was torturing that kid. He wasn't even there. Like,
yeah.
It's literally like, it's like, oh, I was shoving a broomstick up that guy's ass. Tim was smoking a cigarette outside. Like, he wasn't even there. And you're like, how am I on Tim's side here? Like, the call out is he wasn't participating in the torture of the kid. Okay, I guess.
Sir, I know Eddie Gallagher. I served with Eddie Gallagher, and you are no Eddie Gallagher.
Yeah, exactly.
You're so right about the dynamic of those podcasts. It's so weird because I get a lot of those. I have a horrible YouTube algorithm.
Me too.
I think I just have to like scrap my account at this point because I watch too many videos that are like, the grossest confessions on Reddit.
Yes.
The 8 most murdered girls ever. And I think they're just like, oh, okay. You like bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You like bad stuff for idiots. I'll get a few plain ones in there that I like, but it's still, I get a lot of operator podcasts and like operator drama.
Yeah.
All the operator podcasts do is play clips from other operator podcasts and be like, see, this is where he lied.
Yeah.
And it's like, you guys kill people.
Right.
Like, what the fuck is
There's
this?
more dignity.
They should all They should all go on DJ Vlad, and he should. They should all have a competitive lying interviews with DJ Vlad.
There's more.
My favorite DJ Vlad guys are when they'll get like a mafia turncoat who's like 400 pounds, and he's like, I've killed 4,000.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the preamble to these podcasts. But yeah,
I came up in Osama bin Laden's crib like blah blah. I took the mask off. Got from my own unit.
It's just so funny though how like that's exactly it. Whenever an operator gets too big, whenever an operator crosses out of like operator media and gets like a TV show or like goes on Rogan especially, they're like, okay, all of us are like horrible liars and we all have like horrible dirt on each other.
Yeah.
So let's just get the burn book out for what we have on this guy.
There's more dignity, I think, in like just staying near Fort Bragg and Fayetteville and like selling kids. I mean, it's not, you shouldn't like, you shouldn't do either of those things at all, but like
no, you should be serving in the Jody Corps.
Yeah. You
should be supporting military wives.
Yeah. You should be fucking the Marine that's deployed to the Jamba Juice's wife. Yeah. Like I just finished reading Seth's book. It's really good. And I'm like, yeah, I don't mean to say that it's good, but it's way cooler to like be a Zetas hitman than to be like shilling for Casper mattress. Like it's kind of.
By the way, Jake, speaking of Seth Harp, he's been on the Jody kick lately, and he said he shared a story on Twitter that when he was in basic, the drill sergeant would like berate them about Jodies every night, and like he would try to rile them up by saying shit like, "Jody's with your girl right now. They're both looking into a mirror together, and he's combing her hair."
Yeah,
and I was like, "What?" Like, I was like, I'd be like, I believe he's doing that. I don't want to buy. What next? He's gonna watch a movie that she picked out.
Yeah,
what?
My friend,
that's not horrifying to me.
They're arguing about Grubhub. He said, "Why don't you pick if you don't like any of my choices?"
Yeah.
I remember my friend was in the Marines, and he was telling me that like his drill sergeant in boot camp was like. He was like, dude, he would get way too detailed with it. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, he's like, dude, he's slapping it on her tongue and she's looking at him.
Okay, that might be disturbing or titillating.
Right. Like, I'm like, he was like, dude, we would be doing push-ups in the mud and he would be like, Jody's fucking playing with her pussy right now. And he's like, dude, just say that he's fucking her, man. Like what is all this foreplay talk, dude? This is weird.
You know that there was some guy in there who was like, into that, like
yes, that's what it is.
Like cuck,
yeah,
and he was just like rock hard
for sure. Yeah,
he was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Not now.
It's like a guy who has a cuckolding fetish who joins the armed forces just so his wife can get fucked.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like in World War II, like the Japanese would have like American they would have broadcast propaganda in English, and it would all be stuff like, you know, your wife has left you like sleeping with other men now. And I'm imagining like some guy in like in Guadalcanal just jacking off.
Yeah. Like during the Tet Offensive, like GI, she's spitting on it. GI, she's playing with his hair. GI, and he's giving her forehead kisses. GI, yeah, like it's it is. I think it's just cuck shit. That's all it is. Like I don't know. I hate to be so fucking cliche with it, but. There's just I made that joke and people were like telling me to kill myself, which happens. It's Twitter, right? But you're like I'm like, are you this invested in the romantic lives of National Guardsmen? Like these guys aren't even in the real army. They just fucking hang out and they eat Raising Cane's for 4 years and then they go to a state school where they get herpes. Like that's what it means to be a reservist or whatever the fuck.
You get the fat drill sergeant. He's like, right now they're eating a molten lava cake. And they just had lobster and macaroni and cheese, and they're drinking soda right now. They're drinking full calorie soda, and in the morning they're gonna go out and they're gonna have a big breakfast. Sir, did they have sex? They probably hooked up, and then they had a fantastic Waffle House meal with amazing gravy.
Sir, they fucked.
The waiter told them that refills are 80 cents, and they got them anyway.
Yeah.
But like I was like Seth's example. I was like, is this the woke military? Like Jody's treating your girlfriend better than you do. He's in touch with his emotions.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
listening. He's asking questions.
Yeah. That's the emotionally intelligent Zoomer army. It's like, getting her
Yeah.
flowers at least once a week.
The Jody thing is so widespread that like I saw one thing that Seth posted recently about it was a Delta guy and his wife was doing like influencer videos with this personal trainer that she was fucking. And I just thought like it's so like the Jody thing, it isn't even like it's like a force of nature. It's like
Yeah.
El Nino or something. You cannot stop it from happening. Because like if you've been the other man in a relationship, it's crossed your mind like, what if the guy finds out? But if the other guy is like a black ops killer for
Someone who kills people for a living.
like it kills so many people that until recently, even the U.S. government was like, no, that doesn't exist.
Yeah. He's a James Bond villain. Like, yeah.
And you're doing Instagram lives with his wife, and you're hanging out with his kids and shit.
Yeah, you're like going to his house. You're watching his Hulu. You're letting it pop out, and she puts it back in. And
Maggot, listen up. Jody has changed all the preferences on your streaming service. It's not going to be shit when you get back recommended to you.
He turned on motion smoothing.
Yeah.
Your Blu-ray collection has been soiled, Maggot.
But it's like if that guy can't prevent it just by like even however tough you think you are, even if you are a personal trainer, you'd still get scared if you like, oh, this is a Delta guy's wife. But it's impossible for it not to happen.
Maybe it's thrilling.
It almost makes me think there's nothing you can do except like not join the military.
Well, that's what I was about to say. It's like, what's that old Carlin bit where it's like, hey, if you don't want to get your head cut off, stay the fucking Oklahoma. It's like, if you don't want to let the Soul Cycle guy dig your wife out, just stay the fucking Oklahoma. like it's like somebody was like, some dude, this was really sad. Some guy like replied and was like, I lost my first wife on my third deployment in Iraq. This is disrespectful. And I was like, okay, surely he's trolling. And I went to his account, and his account was like not all, but like 50% horror stories, like retweets and like big threads of guys who lost their wives while they were on deployment. He was like a Jody blogger.
Oh no!
Right?
No.
It's like, dude, do you still have your service pistol? It's super easy, bud. Like it's not like it can be over so fast. It's not that hard.
I had a coworker who was a Marine, and one time he said something about how he'd gotten his higher up fired in the Marines, and I was like, "Nice, man, what'd you do?" And I was like, he was like, "Oh, I reported that he was having sex with my wife." And that is against the code. You cannot do that.
That is 90% of what the NCIS actually does, contrary to all the television shows. We should have you believe they're investigating real crimes.
Oh my God, that's what like Lindsey Graham's job. He's a JAG guy for NCIS cases. He was hearing those.
It's the perfect job for
Do
him.
you have video I can watch?
Yeah, exactly. Now we are going to have to sit down and watch this together.
Do you, for reference, do you have any pictures of your penis so I can compare it to this other man's and make sure it's not that he's not using your penis for this? Do you have a little video by chance? Just a little one?
He's drinking a lemonade through like a swirly straw.
I'm sorry, my laptop's all slippery.
Your Honor. Oh, the lemonade. It's made it all sticky.
Oh, no, I got bees all over me.
I don't know, apparently a lot of like swinging culture came out of like the military in the 1950s, particularly test pilots, because their job had such a high death rate. It was just sort of like going up there to break the sound barrier tomorrow, and just by the way, if I don't get back, my wife, she's taking quite a shine to you, and I just want her to be happy.
Do you remember Felix? I don't know if you ever saw. I was watching an episode of Jocko Willink's podcast, and he was talking about like how lucky new people in the military are because they're deployed in cycles or whatever, in rotations. And he was like, the camera gets really close on him. He's like, when you were deployed in Germany, when your deployment was over? When the war was over. He gets really intense. Like you're just in Germany for 4 years. And it made me think like, that's a lot of time to get your wife cummed in. That's a lot of time. That is like a good chunk of time for your wife, like little Bo Peep or whatever the fuck. You're writing her letters from the trench and she's just like, well, you've been at war for 3 years. Like, what did you expect?
Imagine in World War II, you're like the one guy from your town who's 4F, and you're like, oh man, I really wish I was storming the beaches of Normandy.
Oh, yeah.
But guess I'll just have to hang out back in the town.
Yeah, just be milkmaid in the city, dude.
Hey, do you need some help with those groceries?
Yeah. I'm going from city to city, dude. We have to get a Jody edition for you guys, just like a full Jody ep with some real heavy hitters.
Oh yeah, Felix, that'd be a good idea for like a new T-shirt design, like commanding
Jody
officer,
Corps?
first Jody division.
Yeah.
What is there a reason why they call it Jody, or is it just like the guys are always named Jody?
It was
one of those things.
It actually is kind of like many things that is old. It's like it's a racist thing. So there was Joe the Grinder was the name of a guy who would just like go around town fucking military wives, and it got shortened to Jody. He was just a dude that was like would dance in clubs while the military wives were waiting for their husbands to come home and then just sleep with them. It was just like and it just eventually over time got like evolved into that. I always thought it was like, that's a cool name for a dude that would fuck your wife.
Joe the Grinder.
Yeah.
That's honestly what I thought. Like, oh, Jody, that sounds like a local cocksmith.
Yes. Yeah.
In one of the
See, I always just thought it sounded like sort of like a girlish sort of like a name that like a pussy would have.
Yeah, a guy who was too gay.
Some inferior male that's fucking your wife or girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it's like, what kind of name would a guy like that have? Oh, Jody.
Yeah. There's new apparently I only know this is my friends who said, but there are new racial characters to this. So like
please let me know.
So there is Sancho, which is not necessarily new, but he's just a Mexican guy that fucks your wife. And then there's
That's good.
There is Tyrone,
like DEI?
Tyrone or Jamal. Like I remember.
I'm so
yeah,
Tyrone. No black guy's been named Tyrone since like the crack era.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Whenever I see someone like trying to be a racist online and they talk about Tyrone, it's like, okay, Grandpa, let's put away the eye.
Yeah. That's
like you are gonna die of old age before Trump's term.
Well, it's never a normal name. Like I kind of like the guy that ends up fucking your wife is just named Bill. Like it's not like a fun or like Jody or fucking Blaze or Tyrone. It's like, nah, dude, the guy that ruined my marriage, that Phil. He just Phil was fucking the shit out of my wife. It is what it is.
Oh yeah, D'Artagnan came and blew my wife's cheeks out.
D'Artagnan. Hell yeah.